Pisces.
Hello Pisces, this is your forecast for September 2014, and the action we're looking at this month, well, seems to be like you're initiating something now that has to do with a new direction. Okay, Mars is in your 9th house for higher education. You might be studying something, gearing up towards a new action that can allow you now to reach a little further, perhaps also to ground something really powerfully here in your own creative way. This is because Mars here has been in the area of Scorpio and your 9th house in August, and it will remain here in September until the 14th. So you have the 2 first weeks of September to really figure out, to carve out this new path, because anything you do now is really going to affect you and your career as we head in to mid and end of September when Mars goes into your 10th house of career. All right, so you might have been working on this for some time, but here we go. The energy is building up. You're getting all the little data that you need, and Saturn is supporting you now to give the oomph, the push forward, to help you in your career. It's going to be another 2 years here, Pisces, before you're going to see that you're going to get this opportunity again to really go out there and put those engines on, right? Some of you might also see that you'll be traveling here this month, at least until mid-month. Some of you did that from mid-August onwards as well. Great time for vacation, to travel at distance, or connect with friends or family, you know, in a distant part of the country. Long-distance travel is always favored by that 9th house. And if so, well, you must have or will come to have a great time. It's that Jupiter energy there of that 9th house that will promise, you know, a lot of joy. Then we have from the 14th, when Mars enters into your 10th house, that's when you're going to see that things are going to start kicking off, and where you might just start on a totally new chapter of your career life. And the energy should be hyped. I see you being very focused, very goal-oriented, doing what is needed to be done, and also any interaction you have with the higher-ups, whether that is, you know, a supervisor or a boss, or if you're self-employed, that would be you. Well, then, in that case, you will see that you're putting pedal to the metal to follow up, follow through, and make the most out of that journey while Mars is in Sagittarius. Then we also have a lot of other things going on here this month. It's about relationships. Now, that could be with your significant other. Of course, it could be with anybody that you work tightly with, one-on-one. If you're a therapist, that would be you one-on-one with your clients. If you are an agent, that would be also with your clients. You get the drift, right? But right now here this month, we have the Sun, we got Mercury, and we also have the new moon in this area. So this would be the area for you to put down your intentions for this month, is how can you improve and grow and expand this area to ensure that you have a good, smooth, nice flow in your communication here with them. In the sign of Virgo, well, it's all about paying attention to details. It's in the communication. Not only does Mercury communicate, but Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so you kind of like have this double whammy thing going on, where you will come to see that communication will be that much more important for you. You know, we want to pay attention to what we say so it comes out the right way, right? Now, Mercury will be here only until September 3rd. Okay, so it's mostly for those of you listening to this on the August side. Now, you might have heard that also in the August forecast, but here at least you have a few days to wrap it all up, and then Mercury is going to be moving into your 8th house. So that communication will then have to do with your financial situation, not necessarily your day-to-day income, you know, your monthly income, but more so what it is you are setting up in the long term. revenue, commissions, royalties, and so forth. It could also be money talks about how you share your splits with a potential partner or with your spouse, for example. Or it could also be talks that you will be having with banks or other financial institutions as well, which could be, you know, insurance companies, the IRS, whatever. But that would be more so for the rest of September as you're working through and trying to balance this. Mercury is going to be in Libra. It's all about finding that perfect balance and what is fair. The sun in this house, that is you. It's your essence, it's your focus, and the focus will be on your partner. How much time do you really have to give to your partner? How much time do you have to take in? And so once again, it is this time of year, you get it once a year, where the sun is passing through this area to make up for, catch up with, or install new. When you have the sun in any given sign, which happens, you know, for 1 month, a year, there will be a whole year to get the chance again. It's like having a new moon there, right? Where we place our intentions, our emotional intentions. But when the sun is there, it's like this is the time to, with your intentions as well, focus on this area, how you would like it to seem on the most ideal level. You know, how can you work this to perfection? That's what that is about. We have Venus and Jupiter in your 6th house here in September. And 6th house has to do with your day-to-day routines. How do you structure it? Does it work for you? How can you refine it? Can you make it more efficient? Are you just a little bit too much spread out all over the place? Remember, Jupiter is huge, and Jupiter loves to extend and spread itself out. It's in the sign of Leo, so we've got all that heart energy going too. So you might just want to pay attention that you don't overdo it, that you do spread yourself too thin. And we also got to think about the 6th house being health, right? Our day-to-day health. Now Jupiter loves good food, so we might see how we can expand our weight. So be careful, not too many milkshakes and burgers. We're going to have this aspect for a whole year. Anyhow, Venus is going to be here until the 6th, okay? So it's a great place for you to become aware, to put down, you know, your focus on how you want your days to look like, not just for now. It's like our now will always become the foundation of our future. So we don't just want to think about now. How do you want it to look like, you know, months ahead, next year? So when astrology gives us the window of opportunity to look at a portion of our life, it's about refining the energy in that area, because as the planets move on, we don't have time to go back and do that, because then our now is going to be in different focus, right? So make sure that you figure it out, have those good inner self-talks about your diet, how you want to eat, how you want to, you know, catch up on your physical body and training and so forth, and also the workload, how you work and how you can work more smoothly. We have the full moon here in the 1st house for you, Pisces, this month. And the 1st house is all about personality. It is going to enlighten this whole area. So you might feel there on the 9th of September that this is going to be a time for you to actually shine, to come out, where your personality will really radiate. So a great time to go do something or be with somebody you care about, and you'll just see how you might take center stage there on the 9th. So let's look at some of the aspects here this month. We have Mercury and Pluto. They're going to have some talks on the 9th. This is the same day as that full moon. All right, so you have center stage. We just established that. But then Mercury has something it wants to communicate, and it wants to communicate something it would like to refine or redo. Pluto will, you know, bring something to an end, only so that it can actually start something new. So you might feel how this pressure inside of you wants to come out, so Pluto can start off this, and it should be good. Even though, you know, squares can feel a little pressurized, but that could just be your own internal pressure, because here on the day after, September 10th, that same Mercury is coming into a very harmonious aspect with Jupiter. So Jupiter will make sure, even on the 9th, okay, that you will be guided to express yourself to something that's important to you. Remember, the now is always about the future foundation created in the now. So I see how you're balancing something also financially, because the same day there on September 10th, we got Venus, which is love. It's also money. And it is kind of looking at your financial state. And Neptune there, where is the money going? Are you able to hang on to it, or is it just slipping through your fingers like water? Try to hold water in your hands. That's Neptune for you. It will be there for a second and then it will all drain. It's like, where did that money go, right? So there might be an expense that you're looking at. If it's all for a good cause, so be it, you know, then it was well worth it. But you just want to be a little careful so that the money doesn't drain too quickly. On the 11th, you're feeling good, you're feeling pretty structured, grounded. The Sun and Saturn together, it's like whatever you have done from early month to this date, you're overlooking it and going, that was good, I can do this. So this is moving you into the month here where the next set of challenges will be coming. The first one on the 13th. Now this is Mercury now being tested by Uranus. And Uranus, bless its heart, we love Uranus because it always invokes change. And when change comes upon us, if it's a good change, we love that. It creates action. Takes us out of that bored, dull routine, right? But then sometimes change can come when we're not anticipating it. We didn't ask for it, but the universe will do whatever it's going to do anyhow. So when it's in opposition to Mercury, it might be a message or a text or a phone call you might get that might rattle your chains a little bit, but then it all depends on how do you roll with it. All right, so you want to be a little flexible. As always with Uranus, we need to remain flexible because then we can always work around it. 14th, a great day here for passion and for love. We got Venus, we got Pluto. So that's love and passion together. Now it's also money together here, and something that could shape on with news of something that could be quite transformative because Pluto is transformation. So there might be news of money coming together. Some of you might just get the green light for a big job. It can work out in very many different ways. For you, it will be here pretty much between how you work with people and with groups. Okay, so the one-on-one, or it could be a service you're providing. There's 7th house, how you interact with people, but then it coming from a group. That's where Pluto is for you, right? So you might see how those two things hang together. Maybe somebody out of the big vastness of groups might contact you with something that might be an offer. For example, like I said, it can play out in many ways. And we have Venus also here on the 21st. Also in a good aspect, this time here with Saturn, and Venus now having moved into that 8th house. For you, no, I'm sorry, into that 7th house. Sorry, a little ahead of myself here. So it is sextiling Saturn there in the 9th house. So Venus in the 7th, that's you, how you're balancing, how you're working, how you're taking in your partner or the people you work closely with, and how that's anchoring down this 9th house energy. So to me, that means if you are needing to be in touch with any person or group, foreign groups, or at distance from you, somehow this should have some positive results for you. Now, it could also be something that you might be educating yourself on, doing research, or some of you have gone back to school. Say you're having a test, for example, on this day. That should be good because Venus is feeling very grounded and settled and balanced. So, nice day. Then we have Mars. We got to look at Mars, you know, moving here through your 9th house. On the 22nd, it's right there on the cusp to your career. Actually, it's just moved right inside your 10th house. And it is squaring Neptune. Neptune is in your 1st house. So Mars is all about direction and goals, right? When Neptune is there, you know, you might hear something, you might have a talk with some higher ups in the career field. Neptune is very creative. Now, there could be a talk, there might be a discussion perhaps of a contract, maybe, and it's a little unclear when we have a square. So my suggestion at that point is listen before you make a decision. All decisions are naturally always up to you. What you do with your planets, what you do with your transits. However, you know, when we have this kind of fogginess that Neptune can bring on, we don't want to be too quick. Mars is hasty. Mars wants reaction and action right here, right now. Mars is never the most patient of all the planets, see? So you might hear something that you might feel sounds good, here's good, you know, want to take action on it, but then it might just come back around to bite you in the butt. So hang in there if you can for a little bit longer. Give it another week just so the transit is over. You might end up looking at that whatever suggestion with new eyes, all right? But basically in the overall, it is a month where things are moving. You know, all our personal planets now out to Jupiter, Saturn, they're all on the direct, okay? So life is moving forward again. The outer planets, on the other hand, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, they're retrograde. However, they work more in the subconscious. We don't really see them, you know, face to face in our daily life like the personal planets because they move so slowly. But all our personal planets are now aligned. So you Pisces, go for it. I know you got goals to reach right now that you've been working on for several months. It should be a great, great and inspiring month too. And as far as love in the 7th house here couldn't be better. It's like the 5th and 7th house is always the best place for love and romance. So for those of you in a relationship, it should be a great month. And for those of you single, well, you might just come to find that special person here this month. So keep your eyes open and peeled on the horizon, and I will see you next month. Just make sure to go listen to your moon and your rising sign. For those of you who question, should I listen to my rising sign or should I listen to my sun sign? You want to listen to both. They're equally important and hold equal as much information for you. Okay, so then we have that. Take care now. Bye-bye.